We now proceed to the eagerly anticipating MOU signed between NITK Invent Center and Warrior HEART Hub. The NITK Invent Center represents our directors' far-reaching vision and NITK's commitment to global excellence with local relevance, while the Warrior HEART Hub will serve as a lab dedicated to sustainable environmental solutions. The Warrior HEART Hub is the brainchild, as Sir said, of Sri Padmanabh Warrior, a proud alumnus of KREC 1981 electrical batch with a master's in computer engineering from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, New York. As an accomplished product manager, Sri Warrior Sir is distinguished for innovative solutions across finance, retail, and technology for global brands such as Walmart, Microsoft, and Toyota. He is also an entrepreneur, has 3 patents in computer communications to his name, and is a published author too. He has also written articles for the Forbes Technology Council and spoken to several global conferences. A world traveler, he is passionate about diverse cultures and has literary pursuits traced back to KREC, as the book says, Once Upon a Time in KREC, which will be pre-released today in this August gathering. May I now request Sri Padmanabh Warrior and our Director, Sir Professor B. Ravi, to exchange the MOU documents. Thank you very much, sir, for officially kickstarting the important initiative. Through this MOU, maybe we have demonstrated your support and set the stage for a fruitful and impactful collaboration, sir. Now we are about to witness the pre-release of the highly anticipated book authored by Padmanabh Warrior, sir, titled Once Upon a Time in KREC, Mythful Musings of 81, which will take readers on a nostalgic trip down memory lane, detailing the antics of the 249 boys and only 1 girl who graduated from KREC in 1981. With great honor, we have Director Sir officially releasing the book. In this auspicious occasion, may I request Professor Ravi sir to felicitate Sri Padmanabh Warrior. Thank you, sir. May I now request Sri Padmanabh Warrior to address our distinguished audience. Sir, please.
Good morning and namaste to all the enthusiastic faces that are assembled on the podium here today and in the auditorium. I am truly honored and humbled to be here today, to be given this opportunity to address all of you on this very unique and important occasion that has been initiated by the Director and Dean Rao. This occasion, as was mentioned, is to honor the ongoing contributions of the 1981 K.R.E.C. batch towards the progression and promotion of this esteemed institution. This is, I would say, definitely a first and something that truly represents the heart of K.R.E.C. I would like to thank Director B. Ravi for his leadership, and I would also like to thank the entire team, including Dean Srikant Rao, Dean K.V. Gangadharan, Associate Dean Soumya Kamath, Professors Vasudev Madhav, Saikat Datta, and Prithviraj Umesh, and I'm sure many others that have been diligently planning the execution of this event on behalf of the Institute. I also have seen the enthusiasm with which they have embraced Director's challenge and his call to take this institute from good to great. As engineers, we are in the relentless pursuit of perfection. That is our job. And I am truly glad to be here today to be aligned with that vision that Director has set for the Institute as well as for the alumni. My acknowledgements will definitely not be complete without thanking and recognizing all my batchmates for their continued support and who have illuminated this very hall with their presence, with the additional glows that are coming from their spouses. So thank you all for being here today. It really matters a lot to me. Today, I would like to touch upon the importance of giving back to the Institute and why it matters and what it means. And I'd like to share my own part of it, of course, through the book and through the Warrior HEART Hub that we'll be expanding a little bit today, but more will be coming in the days to come. The journey from knowledge to happiness is encapsulated in the following shloka. Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayat yati patratam, patratva dhanam prapnoti, dhanat dharmam tata sukham. Vidya dadati vinayam. From vidya, from knowledge, is born vinaya, which is humility. Humility gives birth to worthiness. Through worthiness, we can acquire wealth in the proper way. Through wealth, we can do good deeds. And through good deeds, the satisfaction comes happiness. If you ask almost anyone today what their fundamental goals in life are, it is not progeny or power or even health or wealth, but the fundamental goals, I would say, are sukha and shanti, that is happiness and peace. And the journey to these goals starts with vidya. So it is only appropriate that we assemble here once again to remember, respect, venerate, and honor the very institution that has lit the lamp of knowledge within us. In fact, I would like to propose or suggest that every one of us has a duty to four mothers. To the Deha Mata, Vidya Mata, Desha Mata and Bhu Mata, which is the mother that has given us this body, the mother that has given us this knowledge, the mother country, and the mother earth. And it's in recognition of my gratitude to these four mothers and in discharge of my responsibilities and duties to these mothers that I have decided to come back to India and initiate this Warrior HEART Hub as part of the institution. So now, coming to the book, the very genesis, origin, inspiration, you may say, for this book is none other than our batchmate and esteemed Sai Datta, who is here on the stage. Many years ago, Sai Datta wrote a book, or rather an article, I should say, in the college magazine, extolling the memories of the 1981 batch and many things that happened. And it occurred to me that why stop there, that why not write a book? And the occasion also presented itself because, where is Paddy? Paddy was starting his mission to bring all of us together as part of the 2018 reunion, which was our first big reunion after many, many, many years. And so I wanted to do something unique as a memento for that reunion. And so I thought, why not I do what I do in the best capability that I can, which is to write a book. And so with the help of all of you and collecting your memories, old photographs, digital copies of old campus newsletters, it was an opportunity to collect, collate, analyze, synthesize, and put all of those together into the book that you now see as Once Upon a Time in KREC. So this is truly a batch effort, and I just happen to be the messenger behind it. Now, this book, the matter would have ended there, and to some extent it did because of COVID and ravages of time and other reasons. And it would have in fact died an untimely death because I actually happened to lose the very soft copy that had gone into creating that book. But thanks to Naru, he was able to bring back that copy. And so now we have actually the book 2.0, which you see today, which actually has about 50% more content. And the interesting thing is that I would say it's perhaps a unique situation where the Institute has taken forward the mission of promoting the book and getting the hard copies. And I would suggest that if you're interested to know more about what the Institute is doing and its plans, please connect with Dean Srikant Rao. So the objectives for this book, Once Upon a Time in KREC, at the reincarnated 2.0 version, are threefold. It is to inform, to inspire, and to initiate. To inform, as you all know, there are so many aspects to our life in KREC of how it shaped us from adolescents to adults. And some of those stories are humorous, some of them are thought-provoking, some of them are adolescent ways, some of them reveal our growing maturity, but all of those stories are life-changing and life-impactful. And it would have been a shame to have this just restricted to a small group of people, and rather it is time to initiate this and send it across the world so that others can also experience the same learnings and joy that we all shared together. In fact, what I did not want is for these memories to be lost forever or to die a premature death. I am reminded of the quote from Thomas Gray, which says, Full many a gem of purest ray serene, the dark, unfathomed depths of the ocean bare. Full many a flower is born to blush unseen and waste its sweetness on the desert air. Here, we don't have the desert air, but we have the ocean air. But the idea is the same, that it would be a shame to have these memories just be wafting in the wind in this ocean breeze. Rather, I want the fragrances of those memories to last forever and to remind us. And so this is the reason why I wanted to take up director's prompting, if you will, to take this book forward in its current form. Now coming to the point of inspire. Every one of us is a successful individual. There is no doubt about it. And having read the stories of several of the batchmates that were compiled together, again at the prompting of Vijay Rao, one of our batchmates, your stories, when I read them, were truly inspirational and could be a role model for anybody. But because of the paucity of time and constraints of putting it in a book, I selected a few that appealed to me from the perspective of not only the knowledge that had been gained at the institute, at KREC, but what happens afterwards. And again, I'm reminded of another Sanskrit sloka which says, Acharyat padam adatte padam shishya swamedaya swabrahmacharibhyah padam kramakramena cha. Now what it means is 25% of the knowledge that we get from the Acharya or from the gurus or from the institution, that is 25% only. 25% comes from your self-inquiry and self-learning. 25% comes from your co-students, which I will definitely assent to. And 25% comes through the passage of time. So this passage of time that has happened, this growing maturity, brought about in the stories of several individuals really inspired me, and that is also now incorporated and encapsulated in the book. Now coming to the point of initiate. I want the book to also be not only thought-provoking, but a call to action. What is the action that we should take? What is the mission that we can consider moving forward? Well, we just have to look around the world around us and understand there is a dire need to think about what is happening on our planet Earth and the need for sustainability. In fact, I would say that sustainability and smart cities are related and perhaps two sides of the same coin. So around the same time this book was going on, the reunion was going on, I was looking at the idea of smart cities. And I came to two conclusions. That to have smart cities, first of all, you need smart people. That is obvious. But you also need people with heart. So it is not just the intelligent aspect, the IQ that is required, it's the emotional quotient, the EQ that is also required. Because literally crores of rupees, billions of dollars, however you say it, across the world have been wasted literally on chasing, I would say, the myth and mirage of smart cities and trying to act smart without really doing anything. You all are witness to that. And even several years today, it is true. So we have to think about it differently. So this idea of heart resonated with me, and HEART is actually an acronym that starts with Human Centric Designs. So H is for human centric, E is for entrepreneurial, A is for asset development, R is for recycling and regenerative, and T is for technology enabled. So human comes first, technology comes last. It's intentional. And so when I met the director in a virtual meeting a few months back, and I suggested this, again, it was initiated first through Dean Rao, and then eventually to the director, I disclosed this was my thinking, and I immediately found a kindred spirit and resonance. We may all remember our experiments with the tuning fork is that you have to find the resonant frequency, and when you find that, then things vibrate with a lot of excitement, and so that is truly what happened. So when I connected with Director Ravi and his team and others over here, I then suggested having a framework. And again, from an engineering background, the framework I suggested was inputs, outputs, and the magic happens with the transformation in middle. So inputs are capital, which not only is it financial capital, but intellectual capital, social capital, political capital even, and all types of ways, and human capital that we can empower the transformation to happen, because all of these need to come together. And then on the output side will be things like projects or patents or papers or initiatives that we can deliver, clear objectives which are measured by the benefit to the end person and not just talking about the money that's been collected and so on. So this is the idea. But at the center of it is aligned with Director's vision that I hope he will share a little bit more about an AI center of excellence for a sustainable and safe and Swachh Surathkal, and I'm sure there are other S's to go along with it, but that's the spirit. And so this aligning of this AI center of excellence along with the Warrior HEART Hub, which is very intentionally having the Warrior name as a homage to my parents, UK Warrior and Bhagya Lakshmi Warrior. So I wanted to preserve that, and that is why even in the MOU I insisted. I said there was only one major criteria. I said the name Warrior has to be there. And this brought about the meeting of minds, and then we started to say, okay, let us make sure there are concrete projects and we can measure through that. Because, again, as has been said, vision without action is just a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. But vision with action can change the world. So I am delighted to share today that we have two projects that I'm sure we will hear about, which is the AquaWise, which is the water management, and the waste management project, which is the biogas, which again 1981 batch has contributed to. So before I end, I want to share a few thoughts about, life jnana, if you would say. Some of it directed at the institute and the administration, some of it directed at my batchmates and alumni who might be looking at this event down the road, but all in the spirit of sharing some thoughts from the heart. So the first thought I would like to share, especially from the institute point, is, of course, if you look around, there are many other institutions that are doing similar things and have raised a lot of money. And, I don't want to take away from any of that, but I would like to posit to you that ultimately what matters is the output and not the input. So let us hold ourselves accountable for the measures which are tied to the benefits that we can deliver, and not through what I would say so-called vanity metrics, such as the amount of dollars collected or crores of rupees collected. That is important. Of course, it is an important component, but the matter should not end there. So let us focus on the end goal and not lose sight of that. The other thing I would like to also suggest is that if you look at the 5 fingers of our hand, you can take the analogy that the thumb is the institute, and the other 4 fingers are the students, the alumni, the industry, and the local and national governments. So all of these fingers, if they are in 5 different directions, will not be able to do anything useful. But they have to come together so we can hold strong towards the mission. And that is where I think we, as alumni, along with the institute, have to work extra hard to bring together the other components, especially the industry, so that we can do effective things. So this is an important aspect. Now, talking about alumni, see, we are all, especially those assembled here, are in the second innings. And yes, it's important to enjoy the benefits and fruits of our labor that have gone into the first. But if you think about the activities like eating and drinking and entertaining, these are things that the birds and the beasts also do. But what sets humans apart is the ability to think, to act, and to change the future, to shape. So that, I think, is a unique aspect that has been embodied by the 1981 batch with all of the work that has been done, particularly towards recognizing the importance of giving back from the educational perspective, such as the work that we are doing with the schools. So this is something that I think hopefully other alumni can also take as examples and build upon, because otherwise it would be a shame if we don't bring the power of the alumni to the campus. Now, people ask me, Warrior, what is your vision? What are you trying to do? And my response is, we don't have to look elsewhere than our own luminary leaders. I look up, for example, to Dr. Abdul Kalam. He used to say that if you want to shine like the sun, you have to burn like the sun. And nothing comes easy, right? So we have to strive for it. In the same way, he used to say, dream is not what happens while you are sleeping. Dream is what keeps you awake. So when we want to dream, we have to dream big and be motivated to continue to see it to the end. That is important. And finally, I would like to end with a tribute to Rabindranath Tagore, who wrote our national anthem, because I cannot think of any more inspiring words or a vision than what he has said, which is, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depths of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sands of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. It is my belief that in this generation, we will see those words come true. And the ability to make that change is right here in this room, through this KREC, this NITK, this institution. With that, I would like to end my talk.
Thank you very much, sir, for such a profoundly insightful words and throwing a light on the book and making us very curious to read that book. Coining the word heart is something which was admirable, sir. Thank you very much for that intellectual piece of, H-E-A-R-T. Thank you very much, sir.